As you hear, Bob's on, brew's going. I am making a IPA and a bitter, 3 ounces of my homegrown Holotar from 2015, and gotta pause, Bob. This sucks. Sparge water's on. I'm collecting my first running, so I'll do a first wort hop. I'm making like a Citra hop IPA. My sparge water is almost there. I made this today, which it's a PEX with copper and everything, drilled holes in it as my fly sparge arm. I'll do some modifications to it, but this is what I had. So mashed it for an hour and a half at 150, as you see, held its temperature the whole time. It is still the end of April in Ontario. I'm collecting my wort. All Grain Brew, first time I've done a single infusion brew in a couple of years. I'm almost up to sparge temperature, so I'll put this back on when I have that going, and we'll see. Just gonna move my homemade sparge arm that I just did. Get my 3 ounces of Holotar, which didn't vacuum seal that well apparently. Leave it in the freezer. I got a bunch of 2016, so I'm kind of making a zombie dust clone because I've heard about it, but I live in Canada, so I've never had it. But I'm cheating and using my Holotar. Oh my god, that smells good. It's a bitter. Put them in my hot bag. See all the yellow in there, all the lupulin? My Holotar is my biggest producer. So I'm bittering that with 3 ounces Holotar. This bag has kind of seen better days. I normally run the hose through it. This wasn't going to have hops until after this, till the end. I'll just, you know, it's running so clean, I'm going to leave it, and when the hops hit the wort, they hit the wort. So that's what's going on there. It's like a late brew day. It's after 9 o'clock. It's Saturday. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. My only day off. You can see the mash temperature. You can see the sparge temperature, which I almost need to kill it. And there she goes. Bob go back on, and I'm going to continue to brew. My homemade sparge arm, which I could see I might have needed to add that hose clamp. It's just too hot to bother right now. Well, you can see it's coming out of the holes I drilled. I don't need any more than that. Gotta fix this. Sorry about the... Oh, it's so hot. Oh, still bitter in tinfoil. I don't know how that fell. Put the cover on. Still some improvements to be made. I just made that tonight. Start it. It's a hydrated what? SO4?
SO4?
And wort, which is pretty happy because there's 3 packs in there and it's swelling up.
Oh yeah.
I'll leave that there in a clean bowl of stew that was made on the fire in a cast lodge pan. Out to the garage with Tom Petty on, collecting wort slowly from my boil kettle into my clay chiller with the pump not turned on at 15 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know. I can't see either. I don't know, 50 something Fahrenheit. That's what I'll leave it at. So this is that zombie dust-ish clone with Citra and Holotar for bittering. Smells good. Really smells good. And some homegrown hot beer from last year. What's that? 15 plus gallons of brew?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go like that and I can't see shit. Let's inoculate this brew with hydrated from wort SO4. And the Pyrax.
Make it sound like a dinosaur.
We're running old school here. So this is zombie-ish dust. This is zombie-ish dust. As stovetop brew from 2 weeks ago, Lowell's. And this is leftover wort Australian Pale Ale, Noble Hop, leftover on seconds of Holotar Citra.
Yeah, I like it's a tradition.
Yeah, tradition. And we put some, apparently I put a little bit more SO4 on that one. Got foamy stuff, throw some airlocks on this after. Let it ferment away. So that was a 15-ish gallon brew day. At least 10 plus of it is 100% all grain. Cheers, fuckers. Good for me. So it's been not that long since I brewed this beer because it was finished. Ooh, what about near 1 in the morning? Where I pitched 12:30, something like that. I'm getting some airlock activity in. This is the one with the can kit, and not as much, surprisingly, in the all grain one. Even though I did equally pitch the yeast. Well, it is pumping when you give it a shake. It just doesn't have the same head on it, but it's been about. Oh, that one's going on its own. Look at that. About 7 hours. Not bad. All the same yeast, SO4, hydrated 3 packs. Put it all together with wort from this beer, which technically the wort from this beer is the same with the can kit with the traditional German hops, and this had, I cheated and used my own Holotar 3 ounces to bitter, and then the rest was all Citra. But I didn't measure 15 minutes on. I just dumped some in. So it's pumping away, slowly but surely. Let's see what we have. We have 15 gallons or more of beer. Fermenting like mad. It's not even Christmas Eve, because it's way past Easter. Wow, that's going really well. Not sure if you can see the light, but it's moving around tons. You can see there's a slightly different color in this beer, because these two are the same, which is going to be kind of a zombie-ish clone, without actually apparently measuring the hops at the end at all. So, fair bit of Citra in there, and still some dry hopping to go. Use SO4, hydrated 3 packs to do all these. And this one is the same beer mixed with a Australian Pale Ale can kit that was past date, and German traditional hops in it. You can even see the LME beer still fermenting. So everybody's pretty happy, and I still haven't neglected to bottle that beer in the back there that I have in a keg and I have been drinking. So this freezer is full. Lots of carboys and tow. Just a little fermenting update. And, well, we're just over 24 hours in this beer. It's going well. But what's going on here? Oh my god. Is that my Citra Hop IPA? with the homegrown Holotar hops to bitter it, going into a secondary keg. This is what I secondary in. I'm going to put both the batches in there and dry hop it with some Citra hops. This one's going to go in a keg, and I'm going to reuse all 3 yeast cakes for the beers I'm making right now. At that time, I did get the one beer here kegged, which I'll be using that yeast cake too. Got ready a brand new 3/8 auto siphon, because for some reason the other one wouldn't fit. Through the hole. That was the first one, but this carboy is from the 70s. So, you never know what you're going to expect. Might have to dry hop this after I get everything else done. The hops are there. I'll let it siphon down, and I have to go back outside, and I'll come back. So here we are. Saw another video of me actually transferring this. This is the supposed zombie dust Citra IPA, which is, I just call it a Citra IPA because I've made it before. I used Holotar hops to bitter it and a bunch of Citra that didn't even measure up at the end. I know I have 3 ounces and 5/8 left. Didn't check the grammage, and that's what's going into dry hopping. Here's already transferred. Both carboys into here. And gently add the hops in directly. Maybe in a week's time I will keg it. There we go. That was a I probably used it 10.5, but it's 11. Just squeezes on super tight. It's in there. So that's the dry hopping of this beer. Maybe in a week's time more, keg it, and then after a week after that, I might be camping, so maybe you'll see this in June drinking it. Line me up.